Hello, good people of the internet. Today we're playing Train World, which is a railway tycoon kind of game where you take charge of a railway network, build rails, trains, try and make some money. I've started a game, so we'll get into that. This game key has been kindly provided. You can... It's not an early access, technically. You know, I think it's already had its 1.0 release, but there's getting regular updates, so you can kind of see it as something which hasn't necessarily been... You know, well, it's under active development, that's what I'm trying to get at. Anyway, so this is not the sandbox mode, there is a sandbox mode, but this is the normal gameplay, the normal mode. There may be some other tycoons out there, I haven't really found them yet, if so. We are alone in this corner, for sure. And the game kind of sets you up with these regions. I think you can unlock more. In fact, let's maybe try that now. So if I want to unlock this one, this is San Francisco. You would have this region, and you can unlock it, except you can't for some reason. Anyway, we're looking at all that. There is various reputation things that maybe you have to do before you can unlock a region. And there are these contracts that you fulfill to improve this reputation. So this is your total reputation, the connections you do, and the trains that you have, and the contracts that you're fulfilling give you extra points. And then these points, I think, yes, maybe if I get up to 350, then we can get a new region or minimum region costs. Who knows? Maybe there's something I'm not understanding there. When I mention contracts, well, it in the connections area says you can look at passengers and you can see where passengers want to go. So obviously they want to go between the cities. That's where people want to go. If it's green, that means you fulfilled that. So you can see that I actually have this connection, this train station from Portland to Louisville, which, okay, the game decides to use American city names, but it does not put them in the correct places because it's a random map, but you know, that's just randomization for you. I think, you know, you can get a different map. There are different maps, I mean, they're different styles, but it probably also generates the map and starts up when you start the map. And you start off in one age. You start off in, like, well, the age of steam trains, let's call it. And you get these research points, which you get per minute. It's unclear to me how you get more, but there is a helpful guide here, so you can go and look at research, which, you know, I just did beforehand. In fact, we can go look at the one about regions, so we can go read about that. And it kind of plays through a video, which is just stills anyway, or you can pause it and then you can kind of click these buttons. So there are 3 eras in the game. Each has its own trains, wagons, and distinct visuals. Unlock various items using research points. Granted regularly over time, automatically, depending on the global reputation that you have. So if you have more, maybe you get more points. Don't have to unlock to go later. And yeah, anyway. How do regions work? Divided into regions. Depends on the size of the map, yes. Start with 1, have to unlock the rest. Locked regions are shown in white. Some cities have production, sure. Can unlock regions using unlock points that you get from research or by purchasing regions with money. Okay, so it costs money. Cargo routes adjust and may switch when you unlock the region. Have a low reputation, not be able to unlock more regions. Right, so that's what it was saying. It was saying low reputation for us, which is kind of what we were realizing. So we did understand the UI perfectly well. If we want to unlock this, it says our reputation is too low because our reputation, I think we need to be able to like this point. Anyway, so you may be thinking, okay, well, we want to get some reputation from contracts then. You can see that we've already made that connection. We can make this other connection. In fact, if we right click on the region itself, so if we get more information about this region we're in, it tells you, here are all the contracts that you want to be doing. So I have set the price, well, because we're doing this journey from Louisville to Portland and back, I have set the price to be lower because we were not fitting the train, but I guess when we do fill the train, we can up the price a bit more. This just increases demand, I guess. Time is progressing on. Yes, time is not paused. So we'll go look at that train in a second. But there's all these other contracts. It's basically from one city to another. And there's also freight between Memphis and Portland because Memphis produces sugar beets and Portland has an industry which deals with that. I was going to go look at it. If we click on Portland, yeah, it makes it into sugar. I guess that makes perfect sense. Anyway, so what are these contracts saying? This is the fulfillment, I think. It doesn't say it as a heading here. Utilization. Okay, so maybe I do need to increase the price or increase the number of wagons, because the train that I had, it wasn't working with the station for some reason. So I reduced the number of wagons. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. This is all, it tells you what to do, pretty much. And then you'll get reputation points, and that's good for you. It does say free regions 1, so I don't know what that's about. Maybe I can unlock one. No open neighbors. Maybe if I had a neighbor. Anyway, so what I was trying to do next was trying to build a train line, continue that train line from Louisville to Detroit, and I can show you that. It is maybe a bit clunky in terms of how you can do things. So it's not as smooth as some of the other games out there. There is this nice guides mode, so you can kind of plan this route so it go this way, so that there wasn't, it wasn't going over this mountain, wasn't going over these kind of maybe steeper bits. So I chose this as a good way to go. I already started building the track, but so if you want to say, let's plan a route from Portland to Las Vegas, then well, you're going to want to start at your station. Well, okay, fine. You just click this. Maybe you want to go, across that gradient like so. Not turning too quickly. And where would the train station be? Probably on this side of Vegas, maybe. Has to be within the circle, as you might expect. In fact, we can come through that gap if we maybe turn a bit less sharp. Well, this isn't where the train is actually going to go. Then we can come up there. When we come from this side, I don't know if we'll do that or if we'll come around there, because that's much flatter-ish. I don't know. Anyway, so that's maybe a route that we could take if we want to do this trip. But we're going to build out this track, which we already started building. So that's just a guide. You don't have to follow it. In the other view, so this is like, you can zoom around the map. It shows you your guide on the map. You can zoom in to see trees and stuff. Maybe we should zoom in to see the train that we have already on the other track. So if we go look at train 1, I mean, it tells you all this stuff about it. We're losing money because there's only 2 stops and the utilization isn't. Well, it said it was 100% utilization. I don't know. It's not full of people, so that's what I would call utilization. Anyway, there is a follow button, and you can see here is our lovely train. Lovely bright red train. Going the distance, and if you click on 16 times, you can't follow the train for some reason. I think it just doesn't let you do it. If you click on 4 times, it will. But now we have to go find the train again. So yeah, there you go. 4 times you can watch the train. You can see from zoomed out view. It's slightly disappointing that the 2 views don't necessarily align, and this is as far as you can zoom. Anyway, let's put it back to 1. And if we want to stop following the train, it's no. The WASD keys are not responding to that. Anyway, let's click something else. That has cleared up. You'll see it approach the station. It doesn't give you any speed up time, any indication that you're making money from that, but just watch this counter. We're on 3598, 467, so 8467. See what happens. It does a bit of a... Oh, stops at the station. 398, was that what I said? So we lost 10k by doing this trip. Because we have such a long train. So what I should do is I should reduce the number of carriages. There's 64 people apparently waiting. Train has turned around. It turned around in a slightly more strange way yesterday. But I knew it was losing money because it says route profits minus 20,000. I you know, in here was going to remove more wagons because we don't need them all because we're not using them all. So therefore it's making it more expensive. But the game tells you, suggests, if you go to edit the train, that you want to use as many, it's like, you know, hey, you should add more wagons. And in the help, it's like, you should use as many wagons as possible. But this is not true because you're losing money. Could you remove... Well, you can't remove the engine, that would be silly. Let's cancel whatever we were doing. You want to edit the number of wagons, which doesn't know how many we've got. Oh no, I'm at 13. Anyway, so this is maintenance is 14,000 per watt. It doesn't tell you. Per trip. Don't know. But if you were to do that, you reduce the capacity to that's 18 per. Total train capacity 162. So, you know, we could comfortably put it onto 100 and it would have half the maintenance and that would be okay, I think. So maybe we should, and then we'll see if we're making money. Let's do that. You know, fill up the train. Even though we're not filling it up. But we'll see in a minute. So that's kind of the management of that. So I started building this track that kind of led on from there. As I said, it doesn't let you zoom out. Also, if you do play this game, one of the first things you will end up doing is going to the menu, going to settings, controls, and inverting zoom, because the person who created this decided that scrolling up would zoom you out. Like, in the normal, I don't know, in the opposite way. Just whatever you would expect from a zoom, that is not what I would expect. It's definitely opposite. So when they say invert zoom, what they mean is put it back to how it should be. Anyway, so we're trying to build this route. We probably want to build a station. So let's show you building a station. We want it on this side of town, so you come over here to stations, and you can choose your type of station. You can have a passenger, a freight, or boxcar. I don't know what these really do. Bulk cargo? No, we're just going to go for passenger, obviously. It does make a slightly annoying noise when it overlaps with something, and well, it's really when the notification pops up, because you see we overlap, it doesn't come up, but then the notification comes up later. Anyway, yeah, let's put the station down here. It doesn't really matter exactly where, and you have to, once you've placed it, it's not going to move. I mean, you can then move it again, but you have to do the tick to actually build it. And despite having these guides, which is like a nice like plan ahead, it doesn't let you build out the whole track. So you can in one go. At least I haven't found the way to do it. We're early on in the game here, so we don't have all the options anyway. We're going to go back to the other side of the line. And again, I can't zoom out all the way to see it, see the whole route. So this is why the guides are useful. But effectively, to build the track, you click on the end. And, well, you don't click on the end, you have to drag on the end. And you get the kind of standard, like, okay, red is not good, green is okay. Well, that you can build it. This information on the left helps you decide if it's good to build. So this is maybe a bit too steep. The cost is only going to be 10,000. And the max speed is 90. So we kind of want the max speed to be 100, but we want it to not be very, very steep. But this is maybe a steep part of the world. So, I don't know, we're probably going to end up like coming this way for a bit more cost, even though it's going back up the mountain. It's a bit strange. And yeah, it's a bit annoying that you can't. So I'm going to have to build like lots of short bits of track, and it looks slightly oddly curved, if you know what I mean. Like this is doing a curve. Anyway, so, you know, but then that max speed was 40. So like, how do I undo this bit of track? Well, you can get the bulldozer and say, I don't want these two sections of track because they were too slick. Very easy to bulldoze things. But what I want to do is kind of plan the whole track, because I just spent some money. I think you get a full refund for it, but even still, it'd be nice not to have to. I think that's probably the reason why you end up with a full refund. And yes, it can be quite annoying. Incline is too steep that you're getting that notification all the time. So we want to like hit 100% and 100 kilometers an hour and not have a too steep kind of incline, which will kind of leads us doing this, which is going back up the hill, which I don't really like. But you know, if the game is happy, then I'm happy. I'm not that happy about it though. Okay, fine. let's do this. Sure. I know. This is probably why I left it here last. And maybe we just need to build a tunnel down. Like the incline there is too steep. So how far out will that build? So yeah, it's maybe expensive to do this, but you can kind of see this is like 1.3, 190,000. I mean, if I was concerned about costs, then we wouldn't be doing it this way. But let's just do it this way. Sure. Anyway, we're a bit far away from our guide, but that doesn't really matter. It's just a guide, as I said. This bit's a lot more flat, so you can see it's maybe cheaper to go this way a little bit for no known reason. You have to kind of zoom in to make sure you're right on the end of that as well. That incurs lots of extra stuff. Yeah, it's a bit bumpy, this terrain. So we can go that way. I think. 70 kilometers. No, we want to go a bit faster, please. Yeah, this is all downhill, which is the problem. It's like... Is there a place? Is there a way that's not as far downhill? But then it's way more expensive than that. It's just because it's on a hill or not on a hill. Anyway, so building tracks in this game is not exactly pain-free. At least not yet. But, you know, if you want to spend time and make, you know, give yourself a perfect track, then there's definitely time you can spend in this game to do that. At this point in time, I'm just showing you very quickly, so I'm not actually paying attention to all the details. But this is a relatively long stretch that we're trying to build here. So, and the game gives you 5 million to start, at least on this mode it did. So we're not too worried about the budget. Guess there was a point where it cost a lot less. Sure. Let's just go with that. And then that is not going to make it to that station. Well, this is terrible. If I make this a bit shorter, then that may be able to curve back. We're trying to get it to join up to that, which is not liking. So it's like it has to go to here, maybe. We want it as far away, but still at 100 kilometers an hour. Let's go with that, and we'll see what we can pull. 50. Well, 30. Let's get rid of a couple of sections, because maybe this was incorrect to put this way. So yeah, as I say, hopefully you get back all that money. If you're watching the video back, you can probably see how much cash we had at this point. I think it's even before we got to this point, isn't it? Yeah, because we're already at an angle here. Let's go back a couple of steps then. No, that is one very long stretch. So even that one's bad. Whatever. We don't care too much, so we're just going to do it. I'm going to come over as far as we can. And deal with the fact that it's 50 kilometers an hour. Oh well. Is that even connected? Yes. Cool, so now we have things connected. We can now get a train. In fact, we can get our previous train, which we just altered, and we can just say add a stop because, you know, why not? So between these two, if we want to have, well, I suppose we want after this one anyway. If we click on Detroit, it adds it to the loop. And we probably want Louisville again. So I suppose we could go back here and click on this one. So it's going to go to all of those now. Do we have enough It's like increase the wagon count, because that's what it thinks you should do. Where is that train? Well, of course, the way to find out where the train is you just follow it. So now it should stop here. 2 cities connected. We get a Steam achievement, and also it tells us up there. It should then move on. So here you can see there's 63 people waiting to go to Portland, 180 people waiting to go to Detroit. In fact, it's chosen 108 of them who were lucky enough to go on this voyage of discovery to the nearest city, which has no other connections. We can follow the train, because why not? Look around. And then we can ask ourselves, is this train making money yet? We reduce the number of... It's quite loud, the noise. We can ask if this train is making money yet. For some reason it wasn't with those two. Now that the train is full, maybe it will. Utilization was low. I don't know. Anyway, we have reputation. We've apparently lost reputation because we haven't connected cities, because we haven't done this freight connection. I don't know. It's not clear to me. Because we have loans? Or is that the point where we can get loans? Because we haven't? There are people here who are like, I want to go from here to here, and I haven't been able to service them. I'm hoping once this train goes back and forwards a couple of times that will go back up. Yeah. Anyway, so we've got enough research points whilst that train is moving, so we can unlock the next train, which is better. Is this, for freight, I guess? Anyway, I think we have to have taken it, so that's the only option. So we have taken it. Yeah, so maybe if I'm doing freight, then that would be better for freight. And in terms of other upgrades, what have we got? Increased pay for freight transportation, more trains, construction, rails, ability to open new region for free, reduced price of bridges, increased pay for passenger transportation. Anyway, and as you go through the ages, you can see the trains you can get the big boy. Everyone likes the big boy. RS1, these are kind of way more modern trains. This is age 2, say way more. I don't really know the age of these trains. Like, what age is this going up to? This is still looking like steam locomotive, but yeah, at the end of steam. And this is what, like early diesel? Maybe? And then age 3 is like, I don't know, super... slightly later diesel, but then pointy nose trains are the end game at the moment. But I think they've been adding more trains throughout the game. Anyway, we can click on the train, can we? No. Well, maybe you can. I just can't look at how. The route is still losing us money, apparently. Maybe we have to wait for it to get to the end, and we'll see. So let's speed up time. Obviously, we can't follow the train. Let us remove that guide that we had on here. So with the guide, we can just easily delete it. We'll leave the yellow one in. Because, we may build that guide later on, and we may put a guide here for Memphis as well. If we wanted a route, we could go like that, or we could have a little extra train which goes between these ones. How is the region looking now in terms of these things? Satisfaction for Portland to Louisville, not so much going the other way to connect Detroit. But then it's new, but then no people at all ever want to go from Detroit to Portland. I guess when they get to Louisville, they decide they turn into the people, when they get here, they then turn into these people, maybe. I don't know. Sure. Where is that train? Is this where the train is? Is that train going back? I mean, the train's a lot faster in this view, seemingly. So let's click on that train, and we can see that the route only lost us £10,000. And I think the game tells you in the help, to make money, you obviously have to connect more things and have more wagons and all that stuff. The maintenance is a bit of a killer. But yeah, anyway, this is Train World. If these games interest you, this is made by a solo dev, and that is very impressive for a solo dev. Does it quite live up to some of the other games that are out there, past and kind of present? Not yet. I think there's some work to be done to make things a bit smoother, polish and all that. But there's a nice basis of a train game here. So if you like train games, it may be for you. And it is being updated, so all's good. But yeah, as I say, check it out. Leave a like if you have liked this, subscribe if you want to see more, and I want to thank you all for watching and hope you have a great day.